welcome to this beautiful Enlightened World Network launch of a new channel, a new way to go, a new way to look and learn. And I'm here with the beautiful Sue Broome, who is not exactly letting us know exactly what she's going to do. And I can't wait to experience what she has to offer and what she's going to bring forth. So, Sue, I am just going to turn this over to you and let you walk us through everything.
Well, hi, Sally.
Hi.
Since Ruth asked me if I wanted to do something, I've been really excited about this. And as I was telling you and Ruth just before, I've been calling this the solstice weekend instead of the equinox. And I think, there must be, on an energetic level, the immensity of solstice and equinox must be comparable, because Spirit hasn't corrected me. The angels haven't corrected me. And it was really until about a half hour ago. And I did a full-blown reading, and I did a channel writing a couple days ago, and I've shared it all. Nobody's corrected me. And it's like, that's really interesting. But what am I going to do today? It will unfold. It's one thing that Ruth has come to appreciate about me is, well, what are you going to do your meditation on today, Sue? And it's like, we'll see when we get there. But today, Spirit gave me, I'm going to use Spirit and angels interchangeably, as they like to do anyway. But I called this, or they called it, my favorite things about Mother Earth. Because the other day when I was sitting, it's like, okay, are you going to give me anything ahead of time? That's kind of what they started with, is to come up with all of your favorite things about Mother Earth. And then they started expanding on it, and all the healing that can happen, the reconnecting with Mother Earth that can happen, the just appreciating nature, all of it. I mean, all of it. So it's been really interesting. So I'm hoping that you're going to stay on with me, because interaction, I think, is going to be good. And I don't know, can you see any comments from people as we're going along, or no?
Let me go that way.
And if you don't, that's fine. That's entirely fine.
My phone is frozen. It won't do anything.
Okay, well, see,
then we're not to know yet.
we're not, and that's okay, because you get to play. Now, I should tell you, because I haven't worked with you before since we just met, but if you hear the chimes like that,
I was listening to those.
So there's solar chimes, but I had the solar panel turned to the back, so, and there's no sun coming in, but it is bright. But I call them the magical chimes, because many times they will emphasize what's being said. They've always done that, and I've had them for at least 10 years, I think. So if anybody can hear them when they start going off, just pay attention to what's being said, because a lot of times they will just say, hey, pay attention.
Okay, pay attention.
Yes.
I love that.
I know. Trust me, when I was working still in Wisconsin, and I was down in my healing room, which was a lower level, it was nighttime. And besides being nighttime, I had I think I had curtains and blinds on the window. And I had these chimes, and I had candles, because I was working with somebody. And honest to gosh, they started going off. And I'm like, huh? Because it was dark. Absolutely no light except for candles, and the solar chimes started going. And it wasn't that they were just going a little bit. They were going like crazy. So it was pretty funny. So anyway, The angels call this my favorite things about Mother Earth. And there's a little bit of a pause in there when they were giving me the titles. And it was so interesting because everybody has their own thing that they absolutely love about Mother Earth. It may be the mountains, it might be the oceans, it might be the desert. You know, a lot of people don't like the desert landscape, but a lot of people absolutely love the desert landscape. You know, they gave me the blue of the sky, which I found kind of interesting for Mother Earth. And I looked at it as because the blue of the earth, you know, we're laying on the earth, we're looking at the sky, or we're sitting on the earth, looking at the sky, looking at the sun. It's so connected. And when we can look and see the blue of the sky, it also connects us even more so to Mother Earth because of we have her on our backdrop and this blue sky before us. So they were giving me all of this. There's the caves and caverns within Mother Earth and the trees and the forest and everybody, like I said, everybody has their own version of what they connect with the most. They were also talking about just the healing with nature, as in a tree, even hugging a tree. And I know a lot of people have hugged a tree in their lifetime, or even just gone up and touched a tree, and you can feel the healing that is coming from that. They also talked about the minerals that Mother Earth births, and that was the word that they gave me. See, and there go the chimes. And it's funny because right before I came, we started going live, I grabbed this hematite, and it's a worry stone hematite, and I love playing with crystals. I have a lot of crystals on my table right here, but there's also something about a hematite that grounds you into Mother Earth. And so what the angels were showing me with all of this is, as we are talking about or re-experiencing the love that we have for Mother Earth, whether we're sitting and thinking about it, meditating on it, writing about it, or sharing it with someone, it actually expands that energy, and it expands the love and the connection that we have with Mother Earth. So this is where, Sally, I get to use you as an example, or if there's someone that's coming on, I'm going to ask a question, and you get to be the person that's going to answer. And if you see somebody else that chimes in, that's, or if you want me, is it easier if I go look at the Facebook page as well?
Probably is, because it's not letting me do anything. It will not let me see. I'm sitting here trying and trying and trying, and it will not let me.
Interesting.
I've even shut my phone off and turned it back on, and it will not let me.
So you are not supposed to.
No.
Let me see if I can get there. Let me see. All right, there we are. I see us. Okay, so right now I don't see anybody else on, so we're good. So it's you and I, honey.
Okay. We got this.
But I'm going to kind of keep that off to the side. I know today it was really interesting because I do a Facebook Live every single Sunday. And I have some of the same people from 2.5 years ago that join in the fun. And today it was really a low amount of people. I mean, it was probably the smallest amount of people I've ever had. So it was really interesting.
Same here. Same here.
Well, I would say that really has a lot to do with the energies of this weekend, because I feel that there really is a huge shift of energy that's been kind of downloaded.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not just a little bit. It's like, oh no, there's buckets.
Oh no, yes, it is a huge. That's what we had talked about on my coffee show, was the same thing, that this huge push forward. This is not little, this is big.
Yes. And that's absolutely what it feels like. And I think that it's affecting people in different ways that they're not even realizing.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So if I were to ask Miss Sally, what is one of your favorite things about Mother Earth? How would you answer that?
Everything. I don't know where to start. I love to garden. I love to be barefoot in the grass, in the sand, in the dirt. I love to go rock hunting. Okay, that would probably be one of my number ones. Rock hunting along Lake Michigan.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny because I lived in Wisconsin, and a friend of mine and I, she was also Wisconsin, but we went to Michigan, and we went to, I think we went to 3 of the Great Lakes. Out of the time that we were like traveling, we went to 3 of the Great Lakes, and I still have some, I know you're not supposed to take them, but some of the rocks from the Great Lakes.
Yes. Yeah, what a lot of people don't understand is that Lake Michigan at one time used to be an ocean.
I did not know that.
And it actually, here's something that it usually blows a lot of people's mind, but you can Google it as well. And you can YouTube it. There's videos. There's actually a Stonehenge in Lake Michigan that used to be on land, but the waters had risen and taken it underwater. So it's off somewhere between the connection right there, the area between Ludington and Wisconsin, and that body of water right there.
I did not know that.
Yes, it's amazing. So if you ever come here again, go to Van Buren State Park, and sometimes you'll find geodes. Lake Michigan spits up some of the most amazing stones. Lots of healing stones, from pudding stones to wish stones. I'm into the lightning stones. I've been collecting the lightning stones a lot lately. Which
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have one that you can show?
my favorite one, for many reasons. I hold this when I do card readings on Friday nights.
Oh, is that ever cool?
It turns it, when the lightning strikes it, all the white is quartz crystal now.
Wow.
When you look at it this way, it's like a sunrise.
Yep.
A sunset. Oops, I can't get it right. There you go.
Oh, yep.
And then when you flip it over, it actually has a heart on it.
Wow, that is awesome.
And it has a little indent in the stone. So right here is it fits my thumb perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. So this is my go-to stone for everything. But I'm really into the lightning stones. I love to collect those.
So what's really interesting, I moved it the other day, and now I don't, oh, there it is. I don't know what kind of stone this is.
That is pretty.
But it has lightning energy.
Oh my goodness. That is really pretty.
I still have the little stickers, the person that gave it to me on it. But it's got lightning energy.
Oh my goodness. That would be amazing.
Yeah, so it's really interesting that you're talking about and you're calling it, is it a lightning rock?
It's a lightning stone.
It's a lightning stone. I had never heard of those before. So what's so interesting is this is exactly what Spirit wanted to show and now I'm getting chills. It's like, as you are talking about this, I can feel your passion and the love for that. It's like emanating from you. And it's sharing, because it's like, as I was listening to you talk, I can feel my energy going up and my vibration going up and getting excited. So there's because of your love for rock hunting and finding different kinds of rocks and the adventures that you go on, as you're talking about it, you're also going back into, okay, here's a memory of maybe when I did it, or here, let me show you this stone, and you can see all the different, and even as you were explaining and you showed the sunrise and the sunset, those are also, they're part of, even though people might not think it's part of Mother Earth, it is, because yes, it totally is, because, and it's our connection with it. I'm getting
Yes.
major chills
I'm
on this.
sitting here. I'm really all of a sudden chilly, and I've got like chills going up and down my arms, and my spine is like I get very excited about this stuff. I do. Absolutely.
But it's so awesome because it's, I think, when you're showing the stone and you can see, and it looked like even an expansion, that in and of itself is also almost like the chakras that are behind you. You can see the bursts, but it's also similar to mandalas, where they just do the burst. And it's like there's I keep telling people to shine your light. And what is that? That's the expansion. It's the starburst. That's what happens. So when you have your thumb on the center of that stone, it's almost like that's a connection for you, and it helps your light shine even that much brighter. So
I agree.
and I could hear the chimes. They're doing a little subtle dance over there. Lightning stone. I'm going to have to search that out. I even worked for a while, I worked in a co-op where they had a lot of crystals, and I had never heard of that.
Yep, I never did either until somebody, I don't even know quite where. I might have ran across a post about it or something, and I was like, I've been passing those up all the time, and I was really getting into the flatter pieces that I could make jewelry with. And then all of a sudden I read that, and when next time I went out there, this one just kind of got swept up by the waves up onto my foot, and it was mine. It was mine. There was even one time I went there, and out of millions and millions and millions of stones all over that beach, heavy, heavy stones. I found one little tiny one about the size of my pinky nail that had a bear paw on it. And it was right after I had found out that my inner power come from the bear. And then I found this validation, and like most crystals, when you no longer need them, they find a way of disappearing. And it did. And I was so heartbroken because it was just, I wanted that one. And yeah, so they do have that tendency to disappear when they are no longer needed.
Yeah, either that or they break.
Yes, they break. I've recently heard this. Yeah.
I had a chrysocolla that I used to be able to lay on my, like my high heart area, if I would feel heartburn. I could lay it there and it would go away. I mean, within seconds. Well, one night I must have fallen asleep with it on me. In the morning, I got up, go into the tile floored bathroom, and it dropped. And it split in two.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, I guess. So I took it and I threw it into one of the lakes up in Prescott, Arizona. I threw it into the lake because I felt it needed to go back. And that, there again, that is sharing the love of Mother Earth and giving back to Mother Earth. And if somebody was, is ever meant to find both or one of those pieces, then it's theirs, but it was no longer mine.
Oh, yes. Yes. There's been times where I always carry crystals in my back pocket. It's just a
Mhm,
thing,
mhm.
just a few every day. And we've gone rock hunting there. And for what I took, I deposited the ones that were in my back pocket. So they just kind of fell out and went along their way. And there was no way I was going to ever find them. Not in
That's
all
funny.
those stones.
Right, right.
I gave back to, for those. But yes, I love to look for stones.
So there's Robert is saying, good evening from Romania. And he says, amazing stone, Sally. And then he says that this one might be a burnt amethyst. And I'm not sure about that because I know the person who gave it. I mean, he's a rock guy. He's a wizard. That's what he calls himself, a wizard. And he said it was like it was struck with lightning energy. So I'm not sure what that means. But so Robert, while Sally and I are talking, if you have a favorite of Mother Earth, whether it's a location or whether it's something about Mother Earth, put it in the comments. And I'm going to just keep chatting with Sally. We're having a lot of fun here. So, Sally, what is one of the first memories of doing some rock hunting? What was that for you?
Oh my goodness, as a child, I used to upset my dad so much whenever we would go places. My head was always down to the ground, always, since my whole life, as long as I can remember. And he used to get so angry and tell me, lift your head, be proud of who you are, lift your head. Well, one day he took us to a carnival and we were walking through the parking lot. And lo and behold, I found something, picked it up, slipped it on my finger, didn't think anything about it, and was walking, and my arm was swinging. And when it did, it was reflecting the sun, and it got my dad. It got his attention. So he looked at me and said, "What do you have on your finger?" And I showed him, and he said, "Where'd you get that?" I said, "Back there on the ground. It was dumped into the ground." And so I picked it up, and it was a men's diamond ring
Oh my gosh.
that we could never find the owner to. So my dad actually, at that time, said, "Here, I'll give you $10 for it." And I just said, "Okay, no problem." But later in life, I thought, "Wow, I got the short end of the deal on that one." And come to find out, many years later, he gave it back to me, and he had just
Oh,
took it, paid for it, but took it and put it in a hiding spot so I could have it later. Um,
that's
but
very cool.
that's one of my biggest things because my head was always down. I was always looking at the ground for something to catch my eye. I used to, okay, here you go. Here's one of my favorite ones. As a child, I used to dig my mom's backyard up. I was always digging holes everywhere. Um, but I was recovering things from the ground. So I was recovering gold silverware.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom was getting very angry because there was pit holes everywhere,
Oh,
and
how
I was
funny.
stealing her silverware to do it.
Oh, that is so funny.
So that I guess I was out there all by myself. I was a loner,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I would be out there all day long in the summer sun, just digging holes.
So I want everyone to really pay attention to what's happening here. And this is how Mother Earth weaves her energy into what we're doing. Sally, sharing the story with her dad, is reconnecting not only with the joy of rock hunting, but also with a connection with your dad. And I'm getting like major chills on that. And the story about your mom. It led right into the story about your mom.
Mhm.
And the connection, because even though you're saying, oh yeah, she used to get angry at me, and it's like there's so much love And you can feel the connection that the two of you had, and that it brings up for you. Mother Earth is so interesting because she's always there for us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And we might not even realize it. And in us sharing stories about something that we love about Mother Earth, it not only strengthens the connection that we have with her, but there's healing that happens for us. And as it comes up, talking about other people when that interacts, because the person, it's funny because the person that I had gone to all the different Great Lakes with, her and I haven't talked for years. I mean, and it wasn't even that we ever had a falling out. You know how you just grow apart from somebody?
Absolutely.
But her and I had so much fun. I mean, literally, we had so many rocks in our pockets of our shorts that our shorts were almost falling off. You know? Now, Robert says crystals are his thing, and he said he finds that crystals connect us to the energy of Mother Earth, as well as to all the metaphysical realm. And it's absolutely true. I mean, literally, I have so many, I probably have 15 crystals sitting on my table here. And each one, you know, maybe I don't always remember what they are, other than the obvious ones, but you can always feel the connection.
Absolutely.
And if you sit with it and just feel into it, hold it, you can feel the strength that it has. It's almost like what you said, Robert, it says, I find the crystals connect. And it's almost like there's an energetic tie to Mother Earth, even though this is no longer planted. It's like I can feel that energy. And even as I'm saying that, it's almost like I can see a vein of crystal, all of a sudden just appearing. It's so interesting.
Yes, I'm actually a crystal healer as well. So I do crystal Reiki and crystal healing as well. I absolutely, as a Reiki master and teacher, we're taught that energy healing comes from the earth, comes from the universe. And then we turn around and use crystals in it. It just amplifies the energy.
Absolutely. And I'm a Reiki master, also a divine coding Reiki master. So I have a blend of divine coding in there. And I'm not certified in crystal healing. However, I use a lot of crystals in doing healing work for myself, as well as when I'm working with other people. Even when I'm doing a reading, sometimes it's like, okay, I feel like I have to have all these crystals. And I was drawn to this one. It's like, well, does this one mean anything to you? Does this one? Because those are the ones. The other day, I can't remember what I was doing, but it was this. It's a rose quartz. And it's always reminded me of Mother Mary and Kuan Yin. And
Yeah.
and it's partially, even, I wish I could show it sitting. It's partially because of when you see it sitting, it almost looks like a person with their head bowed over.
It does.
So a story about this, I used to have this when I was back in corporate world. I used to have this one sitting on my desk in my office. And at that time I was a manager. And so if you could imagine Crystal Angel gal working in an insurance company, and I was a manager in the IT division. So really different energies. But I had tons of crystals. I had angel pictures, paintings in my office. And I had one of the other managers, she's walking by my office one day, or actually she wasn't walking by, she actually was coming there. She walked into my office, sat down across from my desk, put her hands over this rose quartz crystal, put her head down, sat there for a couple of minutes, looked up, said thank you, and got up and walked out. It's like, okay. So this baby was doing her job. You know, she was connecting with the love. She was connecting with Mother Earth. She was connecting to whatever she needed. And she was just able to go there. So, and Robert says he's a crystal Reiki master teacher as well. But my beginning into healing was with crystals. So it's interesting that the three of us are all connected to crystals and Reiki and healing.
We were supposed to meet.
That's right. That is so funny. So I'm just going to glance and see if there's something else, because I feel like this in Sally, you are the perfect person, and I know Ruth follows her guidance and Spirit interjects. So you and I were the perfect two people to be interacting here today.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think so.
I think it's funny. So one of the things that they were giving me yesterday, it was really interesting, and I don't remember if I was saying this beforehand, but not last night, but the night before, I slept really bad. And so yesterday I could barely turn my head. And what they were having me do is, so as I was going through asking the questions about what's your favorite thing about Mother Earth, and the ocean was what was coming up. And they were having me do an exercise where you connect with the ocean, almost like, you can feel yourself moving in the ocean, whether it's a soft movement or whether it's a little bit more turbulent, depending on, whatever it is you're connecting with.
Yeah.
And then imagining that you are one with the ocean and allowing your cells to really just be in that energy. So there's no separation. And you can't feel even the, where does my hand end and where does the ocean begin? You can't feel it because you are the movement. So as the waves are going back and forth, and as you might feel an undercurrent, this is all you are now one with the ocean. And looking at any pain that you might have in your body and allowing, it was almost like the tightness of the cells loosening to allow the flow of the ocean to be in between, and just allowing that, and just continuing to feel one with the ocean.
Right.
And what was so interesting is, though it wasn't 100% gone, it was feeling a lot better after that. And it was realizing that going into whatever it is that you're connecting with in Mother Nature, that you can become one with that energy and feel the healing. There was one other visual that they gave me was with a tree. Now, I said before, it's like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have gone up and touched the trunk of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Or a lot of people, they've actually put their back up against a tree and can feel almost like What I get from, okay, so the visual they were giving me yesterday was if you're sitting in front of a tree, so your butt's on the ground, whether you have a blanket under there or you're sitting on a little stool, it doesn't matter. Your butt's on the ground, your back is against the tree, and it's almost like you're getting both. You're getting the benefit of Mother Earth pulling whatever you need out of you and connecting you, as well as your spine up against the tree. Yeah.
I've got chills all the way up to my cheeks.
Yeah. And what was even, it was like then an extra is that the roots of the tree also go down into Mother Earth and just expand out anything that needs to be released. So it's, you know, take your pick as to holding a crystal, imagining the ocean, being in the ocean, leaning against a tree, sitting on the earth, walking on the earth, just taking your feet off and just even putting your heels on Mother Earth. It doesn't matter. It's like take anything and you can connect with Mother Earth, and it helps with that connection. And the healing it strengthens the connection, and that's where the healing happens. It's like it was such a big wowza for me.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, it seems like this past week I don't know how many times the topic of ocean had come up.
Mm-hmm.
Taking yourself to the ocean, relinquishing everything that you're carrying with you to that moment, and just being at one with that time and that space, and feeling earth under your feet and utilizing the healing that comes from it. And then many times, you know, I would tell people, if you can't possibly do this, recreate this experience within your own home.
Yes.
You know, I do believe it's possible. You know, there's many recipes out there, but I always suggest the sea salt in the bath water with lavender.
Mm-hmm.
And just let yourself sit there and soak and release.
It's I'm double checking because so a couple things. So Roberts, and I know that we're coming up on when we need to end, but so Robert says, "Oh, I love the ocean. For me, it's the ultimate spot for regeneration and relaxation, just being close to the ocean." Tina says, Phyllis and Julie are making comments, and we can't see them. Don't know why. I don't know. But she also says, I love looking for hearts in nature and then taking pictures. So that is awesome. And Tina, I don't know why it's not showing up. I don't know where because I just checked my page and it wasn't showing up there either. And that's okay. It's okay. People, it's showing up where it's supposed to show up. That's, you know.
And my phone still will not. I don't know what it is. It's like blocked it off from me. Like I cannot go see it. Nothing. I don't know.
Well,
as soon as I'm done, it'll kick in.
Yeah. Well, so just really to sum everything up, it truly is. It's our, and there's Miss Ruth. It's our connection with Mother Earth. However we do that, whether we're sitting in meditation, whether we're picking up a stone or a rock outside, whether we're picking up a crystal, whether we're admiring a tree outside, whether we're listening to nature, whatever that connection is, it's helping strengthen, expand our connection to Mother Earth, as well as allowing the healing. And when we share, that in and of itself helps not only our connection to Mother Earth, but if the other person is sharing whatever they're sharing, it's also helping and strengthening their connection to Mother Earth, our connection with them, and the healing that happens all because of it.
Yeah. I actually followed, I would receive messages to follow signs about the universe, the earth, the animals, everything. And so I was watching a couple months apart. Every time they would give me something new to look for, there it would be. It would sure enough show itself to me to make sure that I seen it. And so I've been following it through the path of this whole COVID thing. And we're almost there. They're letting me know that as of June this year, things are going to be quite different. So right now, we're in that let's stick our toes in the water type thing.
Yep.
So I think June is going to bring that in.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you, Sally, for having me as, as you being the host. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Ruth, for matching us up. I absolutely adore her energy. This could go on for the rest of the day and I'd be okay.
This is exactly how the whole 2 days have been going.
Oh, my
All
goodness.
have been set up with the right people. But I wanted to just pipe in for just a minute. The ocean is my absolute happy place. If I'm not in Colorado, I'm at an ocean somewhere. But I wanted to share with you one thing. I don't understand it, but I sort of do. All the time growing up, and really just until 10 years ago, the stars would be such a soul connection for me. And I didn't understand it, but I could go outside and I would just be in tears, just feeling this connection to the stars. And then my daughters came home, both from China. One, let me see, how many years ago? One 16 years ago and one 18 years ago. And that draw to the stars was gone. And I think it was connecting me to them in spirit. It felt they were in my home. So strange.
Oh, I'm getting major chills on that one.
Right?
Yeah, just weird. I mean, weird in a fabulous way. Weird.
Yeah. Both of you are taking turns giving me chills up to my cheekbones.
What's interesting, Ruth, as you're saying that, and it's almost like the stars were your roadmap that you needed to follow.
Yeah. And until they were in my arms, I ached. It just hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah. Nature is amazing. And it just keeps unfolding, right? We just keep learning more and more connections.
It does. I don't know, it's not like we don't have stars in Michigan. We do, but for some reason, for quite a few years, they haven't been as bright and vivid as what they normally, when I first moved to this area, the skies were expansive and the stars were amazing. And then all of a sudden it was like that disappeared. And about a week and a half ago, we were coming home after hours and I just looked up and I was in awe because there they were again, just as bright and vivid. I could see the constellations, Ursa Minor, Ursa Major. They were just right there looking like I could just reach up and grab them. And so I'm taking that as some sort of a sign that we are in the turnaround. So everything will get better from here.
That's right.
Well, Terry and I were doing a meditation this morning. And again, what they had shown me, and this is out there, guys, what they had shown me was to see the stars not as matter that was out there in the world, but as portals. And to go really to look through. Their words were look through the stars. And we did that this morning in meditation. Well, so as I went out there and looked through, I saw my mom and my dad who have passed years before. And Terry had one of her ancestors show up as well. So next time you look at the stars, why don't you look through the stars?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't wait to be outside after hours. It doesn't happen too often, but I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So we do need to wrap up here, but Sue, if we could hear from you, if folks want to learn more about you or to follow your work, how do they find you?
You can either go to my website, SueBroome.com, or you can follow my Facebook page as Empowerment for the number 4 You. I do Facebook Lives throughout the week, and as well as every Sunday doing the weekly angel card readings. And I offer on my website, you can find I offer healing sessions, I do readings, and I have over 200 journals, and I have cool coloring books. This is my first one, but I have now my 5th one available out on Amazon. So mandala coloring books.
She does such cool stuff. And Sally, thank you for hosting today. And why don't you let us know a little bit about Zenlightenment and how folks can follow you?
Okay, Zenlightenment is a healing center, and we have a retail space as well in Allegan, Michigan. You can reach us through zenlightenment.live. Best way and fastest way to reach me is through Zenlightenment, the Facebook group, because I'm usually in and out of there all day long. So you can reach us there. You can also call the phone number that's on the website. There's 2, I believe, there, and one will take you directly to me. So you reach me at any time. Please not after hours, though. I have a hard enough time staying asleep as it is. But yeah, so
Folks can always reach out to us at Enlightened World Network. We know how to find you all, so we can always pair people.
I've had people find me out from the network as well.
Yeah, that's great. Well, friends, thank you for being here. Thanks for being with us this weekend, and or if you're watching afterwards, that's awesome too. We do have more shows coming up tonight, so stay tuned with us here at Enlightened World Network, One with the Earth. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.